I think a lot of women are very unintelligent, and a lot of women have encouraged me to go back to my relationship that I left. And the thing was, we tried after we broke up, and we did try, and I kept him at a distance because I know him. I had an idea. I said, listen, I should have anyway. Whatever mindset I had, it was a little off, but I did the right thing and keep him at a certain distance just to see if he still had teeth, right? And all the teeth was still in place and all of the flame throwing was still in place. He's a monster. And everybody, despite what I told them, how monstrous he was, they still wanted me to go back to him a second time. Why? I mean, just stay. I mean, come. There's a lady who we was chat whenever we meet each other, and she was like, "Why don't you just go back to your? I mean, come on." And I just looked at her, and I just makes me cry inside. How many women are out there being told to go back to relationships that's going to end their lives or alter their lives so severely? How many women in the name of I got a man thing? I call them man things because they're not useful enough to just be called a man that God created. They turn themselves into its because they don't want to be useful in your life. They just want to be there to get things from you and give you as like literally a grain of sand and tell you they did something. Literally, seriously. If they could just give you a grain of sand and then say, well, I gave you that grain of sand. You're supposed to be thankful for what I gave you. These things, man things, they're like zombies. In the sense that they're self-contained and they don't connect to you. Zombies are just programmed to do certain things and they don't get to run the full range of emotions. So when they're around you, they shut down all their other systems and they just allow themselves to be receivers from you and take from you and mistreat you. That's the only interaction you get. And these women wanted me to go back with him. After everything, how sad I looked, broken, how much I was always crying and disappointed. And why don't you just go back? Just so I could say I have a man. Can you believe it? I don't want a man thing. I want a husband. I want someone who looks out for me. I want someone who wants the best for me. I want someone that's willing to think about me. I want someone that has a plan for me. I want someone that's interested in me, in the real me, and that knows the real me. I want someone that not only wants me to laugh, but laughs at my jokes. I want someone who listens to me when I'm sad, not someone who expects me to be strong and not cry at all ever. Are you crying? Why are you crying? You shouldn't be crying. I want someone that says, come here, lets me put my head on his shoulder when I'm crying. That's the kind of, I want a husband. Not interested in these superficial relationships and you have a man thing there, but he's not really a man in your life. You guys are living side by side, parallel to each other. And he's a man in his life, but not yours. Talking about go back to your, what? Can you believe it? Women do this every day to each other, giving each other terrible advice. But you know why? Sometimes women do it. They want to see you miserable just like they are because they know you single is a happy single. Listen, why would I stay with a monster that shoots flames out of his mouth, right? Why would I stay with him when I could be alone in peace and quiet? I can go to the supermarket and buy my shrimp, come home, bread that thing, put it in the air fryer, make my pasta, make my marinara sauce, and have something amazing. Or I can go on a road trip, or I can go on to the beach by myself, sit there. Listen, since we're talking about alone or with a man thing, We're talking about being alone versus being a man thing. I can go on a road trip. I can go to the spa and spend the whole day in peace and in bliss. You tell me, why would I give that up for a man thing? Listen, I'm always going to say there's carrots in the fridge until people tell me it's disgusting and they're tired of it. I don't even care. I don't even care. And I'm saying this figuratively speaking to show the lack of necessity. Okay, that's how I see it. It's the lack of necessity for me. When there's carrots in the fridge, the heck you think you brought? And that's what they want. So let them keep their man thing. I need a husband, not a man thing. That's what. That's my point. But we need to stop. But we're not going to stop because you want to see her fall. You want to see her embarrassed. You want to hear her cry because you feel like she's avoided all life's pitfalls. And now it's not fair that she made the right decisions and you didn't. So you're going to give her some terrible advice so she too can feel the suffering of what it means to be a dumb woman. To be a woman who's all up so stuck upon herself and so conceited. And so she thinks the world was going to revolve around her and it didn't. That's what some women do. And when it doesn't turn out right, they see that you made the right decision. So they're going to make sure they trip you. And they come and they're your friends, quotation mark, and they want to trip you, put your foot out and trip you. So she thinks she's all that. Watch what I'm going to do to her, watch. Oh, why would you do that to her? She thinks she's all that. I had a coworker tell me to my ear that she had a friend that was a virgin who got married like that. And she was so angry at this woman. She never told me anything that the woman did to her. She said the woman thought she was all that. And she said, but she got what she deserved because she's wound up getting a divorce. I don't know if her husband cheated on her. I think that's how the story went. She said, she got what she would deserve because I didn't go to her wedding, not me. Women didn't do anything to her. But because the woman lived her life and avoided the pitfalls, she was mad and wanted to see her broken. Because she was broken. She wanted to see her broken too. Yep. So that's why a lot of times women will give you the worst advice from the pits of hell because they want to see you miserable. I'm not listening to anyone's advice anymore. So they could tell me whatever they want to tell me. And I don't curse, but they still might get cursed out. The next person that comes to me telling me some dumb advice about my whatever I used to date, I was with, I swear. We always have to be careful who we listen to. I had a girlfriend tell me one time, you didn't give him none, to a guy I was seeing a while ago. You didn't give him none. What do you think I am, a charitable organization? Women out here treating their bodies like they're a charitable organization, talking about you didn't give him none. That's why they want you to go back to the men too. They feel sorry for the men sometimes. He's all by himself. What is he going to do without you? Not even thinking about how this whole relationship was tearing your life apart. So worried about making sure he's happy. Making sure you look, quote, good because you should be with somebody. No, I should be at the beach on my blanket, in my lounge chair with my fruit salad and ice water, relaxing, listening to my music where the wind blows all over me. That's what I should be doing. In my Burberry bathing suit. Get out my face with, at least I have a man thing.